The most dangerous person in the room is usually the quietest walk into almost any room, and your attention is pulled toward the loudest person, the one telling stories, the one commanding attention, the one everyone seems to notice. Our brains naturally associate visibility with influence. We assume confidence belongs to the person speaking the most. But history tells a different story. The people who shape outcomes, who change conversations, who quietly alter the direction of relationships, businesses, and entire lives are often the people saying the least. Because power has a strange relationship with silence. The more someone needs to prove it, the less of it they usually possess. The people who understand themselves rarely rush to convince everyone else. And that changes everything. We confuse noise with strength. Imagine two people walking into a negotiation. One dominates the room, interrupts constantly, answers every question, needs the final word. The other listens, asks thoughtful questions, pauses before responding, speaks only when something meaningful needs to be said. Most people assume the first person is stronger, until the meeting ends and the second person quietly walks away with exactly what they wanted. Because influence isn't measured by how much space you occupy. It's measured by how much your presence changes the room. People who constantly perform confidence are often trying to create it. People who genuinely possess it don't need to announce it. Why silence makes people uncomfortable? Silence has an unusual effect on the human mind. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty makes people reveal themselves. Notice what happens during an uncomfortable pause. Someone fills it, explains more, talks faster, reveals information they never intended to share. The silence didn't manipulate them. It simply removed the distraction. Most conversations aren't interrupted by the other person. They're interrupted by our own discomfort. The people who can comfortably remain present inside silence see things everyone else misses. The people who never chase attention. There are people who walk into every room needing to be noticed, and there are people who don't. The second group often seems less impressive at first, until time passes. Then patterns emerge. People naturally begin asking for their opinion, seeking their guidance, trusting their judgment. Not because they demanded respect, because consistency quietly earned it. Attention can be purchased. Respect must be accumulated, and the two are rarely the same. The psychology of calm. Think about the most emotionally stable person you've ever met. They probably weren't the loudest, or the funniest, or the most charismatic. What made them memorable was something else. Their nervous system didn't become everyone else's nervous system. They remained calm while other people became reactive. They responded instead of reacting. They listened instead of defending. That kind of emotional regulation creates trust, because people instinctively feel safer around someone who isn't ruled by every emotion that passes through them. Calm is contagious. So is chaos. The question is, which one do you bring into a room? Why the strongest people don't need to win every argument. One of the clearest signs of insecurity is the inability to let something go. Some people would rather destroy a relationship than lose a debate. Others quietly recognize something profound. Winning the argument isn't always worth losing the connection. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means understanding that ego and wisdom often move in opposite directions. Wisdom asks, what outcome actually matters? Ego asks, how do I prove I'm right? And those two questions rarely lead to the same destination. The most dangerous person in the room is rarely dangerous because they're aggressive. They're dangerous because they're awake. They notice what others miss. They understand themselves before trying to understand everyone else. They don't rush. They don't perform. They don't chase approval. Because when you no longer need to convince people you're powerful, your attention becomes available for something much more valuable: understanding. And understanding has always been the quietest form of influence.